The Associated Press says Pat Quinn is the winner in Tuesday's race for governor. We talked to new Lieutenant Governor Sheila Simon. And elections sparked a lot of reactions. See what SIU officials have to say about voters. Also find out how you can see the Vietnam Veterans Memorial right here in Southern Illinois.
Live from the campus of Southern Illinois University Carbondale. Bringing you the news from around the world and across the river region. This is the Evening Edition.
In a bulletin this afternoon, the Associated Press says Democrat Pat Quinn is now the governor of Illinois. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sam Smith.
And I'm Jenna Morton. This means the newly elected Lieutenant Governor is Southern Illinois' very own Sheila Simon. We spoke with Simon just a couple of hours before her win was declared.
Thanks to everyone, and not just to the people who voted for me and Governor Quinn, but thanks for participating in that process. And I look forward to working for, again, not just the people who voted for me and the governor, but for everyone in the state. We've got a lot of challenging problems to tackle, and it's going to take a lot of work, and I'm looking forward to it.
Simon says she and her husband Perry are leaving soon on a much-needed vacation. The Paul Simon Public Policy Institute hosted an election analyst today offering insight to the 2010 election. So how did Illinois voters fare? Chris Slaby reports.
Voters' decisions, or more so, their indecision, highlighted the Paul Simon Public Policy Institute's 2010 post-election discussion. Visiting Professor John Jackson said voters' inconsistency at the polls makes it difficult for the government to plan long-term because politicians have to be more concerned with the short term.
We march up the hill in one direction for 18 months and then we have another election and we march back down the hill, and everybody who's in politics plans for a 2-year cycle because they plan only for the next election.
Fellow panelist David Yepsen offered an example. Despite incumbent Governor Pat Quinn's star-bomb proposals that would generate millions of dollars of revenue for Marion, Williamson County overwhelmingly supported Republican rival Bill Brady. Despite the setback in Williamson County and other counties with similar situations, Quinn won re-election, which Yepsen says will create a foundation in Springfield for Democrats before the next election.
The Democrats, they've got the experienced leadership, the staff is in place, they're in place. Now is a window of opportunity for them to move quickly to do some tough things. Make the hard choices now while it's early before that 2012 election.
On campus, Chris Slaby, Evening Edition.
On a national level, panelists say Republicans have an opportunity to secede as long as they are able to co-opt some Tea Party ideas and unite the GOP.
The president of the SIUC Non-Tenure Track Faculty Association responded yesterday to an email sent by SIUC Chancellor Chang. The chancellor proposes implementing unpaid closure days as a means to combat budget shortfalls and avoid possible layoffs. Some bargaining units, such as non-tenure track union, have not come to an agreement with the administration, but they say the union has put forth a proposal. The NTT union says the chancellor's email implied that certain unions like the NTT, were unwilling to discuss furlough days, and that is not true. Veterans Day is 1 week away, and a local town has brought in a replica of a well-known national memorial. David Aid has more. David?
Well, residents of DuQuoin and all of Southern Illinois will have an opportunity to visit the Moving Wall Vietnam Memorial starting tonight. I went out to the DuQuoin State Fairgrounds earlier today while crews were setting up. John Anderson Jr., Mark C. Witter, Carol Jackson, names you might not know, but what you do know is they served and died for America. Their names, along with nearly 60,000 others, are on the Moving Wall Memorial that's set up at the DuQuoin State Fairgrounds. This is the first time the wall has been to Southern Illinois since 2001.
Tonight at 6 p.m. is the opening ceremony. We have a few speakers who hold positions like commander for the VFW, commander of the Legion. Our mayor is going to say some words.
Shively and the American Legion have been preparing for this weekend for over a year and a half. They expect more than 10,000 people to visit the memorial by Monday, and they say this is a reminder of the people who sacrificed their lives.
The people that hadn't been able to see one in Washington, D.C., or they'll be able to come and see this one, those that have boys that died in the war, if they need to get a scripted off of it, they can. That's the main purpose of it.
Volunteers start setting up the wall before sunrise and expect to be done by 6. when the first ceremony begins. And since the wall will be open to visitors 24 hours a day, motorcycle clubs, the Vietnam Veterans, and the 2nd Brigade volunteered to provide around-the-clock security. Tomorrow is a student day at the moving wall, so the meeting behind the memorial is passed on. This is a free event, but one of the main concerns organizers have is the wind. They are worried about things blowing into the wall and damaging it, but they still expect a great weekend at this emotional memorial. Sam and Jenna, back to you.
Thanks, David. It's extremely windy today. Let's see if those winds are going to die down.
Stephanie Fryer's in it with a quick look at weather. Stephanie?
Well, you know what? The winds aren't going to die down tonight, but they will die down in time for the weekend, so hopefully that will help out with everyone who's concerned about the wall. Right now that we are coming in tonight we expect to see temperatures drop down to 33 degrees, and we are going to see this cloudy day turn into a cloudy evening. By the morning, though, that sun is back out for us, coming in at 35 for our low, and by the midday, we are warming up to 50 degrees and still seeing sunny skies. But like I said, that wind is sticking around for the next 24 hours. I will have more on this weekend's forecast when the time comes. Back to you two.
Thank you, Stephanie. A sentencing date is set for former fundraiser of impeached Governor Rod Blagojevich. U.S. District Court Judge Amy St. Eve will sentence Tony Resco on January 28th. He was convicted 2 years ago for shaking down people who wanted state business. Resco is currently in jail. His defense attorney, Joe Duffy, says Resco wants to be sentenced before Blagojevich's corruption retrial in April. Duffy also says Resco will testify at the retrial if he is asked.
You may think of the South when you hear fried chicken.
But is that really where it came from? Find out after the break.
Many people know about it and enjoy it, but does anyone know where it comes from?
A tradition in the South actually began in an unexpected place. Evening Edition's Ashley Sweet went on this tough assignment. Ashley?
We're very lucky here in Southern Illinois. Historic Giant City Lodge's main specialty is the all-you-can-eat fried chicken dinner. I had a chance to speak with the head chef and customers about what makes this chicken so special.
Most people know this sound. It's fried chicken. Giant City Lodge is a place that offers this Southern Illinois specialty.
We batter it and fry it for 14 minutes, and it's done. That's all there is to it.
Head chef at Giant City Lodge, R.E. Bridges, says he's been doing 850 orders every Sunday for 25 years.
It's the chicken and the whole family style aspect. We just serve it all at the table, and it's all you can eat for a reasonable price.
They say it meets the tradition of our country.
It's the good old American fried chicken dinner right there. Corn, beans, slaw. Can't beat it.
But is it? Fried chicken actually originated in Europe and has been around since the medieval times. In Italy, it was actually known as pollo frito. Many people come from all over with their stomachs set on this southern experience.
I came from Metropolis, so it was a ways. We went up the wine trail and stopped a couple places and then went to Macy's and came on down. But this was the destination. We were headed here.
The South has such a love for it that there is even a Facebook page dedicated to their love of fried chicken. It's known as the Southern Illinois Fried Chicken Lovers Association. It even has officers including a president and vice president. So the next time you sit down to enjoy this southern treat, think back to how it's actually European.
Giant City Lodge closes in mid-December, so if you'd like to enjoy this treat, be sure to head out there before to enjoy this lodge specialty. Jenna, Sam, back to you.
Thank you, Ashley. A toy is synonymous with the McDonald's Happy Meal, but that may soon change in San Francisco. The city's Board of Supervisors voted against toys and Happy Meals for those that contain unhealthy amounts of calories, sugar, and fat. The ordinance would also require the chain to provide fruits and vegetables with all meals for children that come with the toys. San Francisco is the first major city in the country to forbid toys and meals. Now, just a reminder, daylight savings time starts this weekend. Be sure to set your clocks back 1 hour before you go to bed Saturday night. The time change happens early Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Also, this is a time to change your batteries in your smoke alarms.
Weather's up next. Stephanie Fryer is in to tell us if these winds are going to calm down anytime soon.
And stocks were up on Wall Street today. Here's a look at your closing numbers.
And now the forecast for the River Region. This is your Evening Edition weather.
Windy and cold. Those were the two words that could pretty much sum up today's weather here in Carbondale. And I really hope it wasn't too cold for you, because over the next 72 hours, we are just going to see temperatures drop so low, in fact, that tonight we even have a chance of snow flurries. Right now, though, we are sitting in at temperatures around 53 degrees. Our dew point coming in at 31 degrees. But look at the relative humidity. It's pretty high for right now, coming in at 43%. And even though we are seeing that high relative humidity, we are still sitting under a fire watch right now. And that is because look at how strong our winds are out of the north at 16 miles per hour. And that's just an average speed. There are reports coming in at gusts at 25 miles per hour. So definitely be careful, because that fire watch isn't in fact until Saturday morning. Looking at our almanac, you can see we did warm up to 55 degrees today around 3 p.m. Our low coming in at 35 degrees. Now we are beginning to see reports of drizzling happening throughout the River Region area, but we do not have enough to add up to a measurable amount in our rain gauge, so we're still sitting at 0 precipitation for today, but expect there to be a change in that number for the monthly precipitation by tomorrow. Looking at temperatures throughout the River Region, you can see here in Carbondale, like I said, we're at 53 degrees, and Mount Vernon is matching our temperature. Marion's coming in at 54 along with Belleville, and our two hot spots tonight are Cape Girardeau and Paducah, who are both coming in at 55 degrees. Looking at a national satellite, you can see we did see some cloud coverage here in southern Illinois. Now that cloud coverage will move off to the east coast by tomorrow, leaving us with some beautiful sunny skies. And looking at the current conditions map, you can see there's that precipitation that we're starting to see that's bringing those drizzling rains into our area. That's going to be very short-lived. And it's also this system right here that could be bringing us those flurries this evening. So just be on the lookout for that. But look, this is what we're in store for this weekend. We have that high pressure system, and it is dropping down into our area from Canada. And when it drops down, it is bringing all that Canadian air, which means it's going to be a pretty cold weekend. So if you're doing any outside yard work, or if you're planning on going to visit that memorial wall, definitely layer up, because it's going to be freezing. For tonight, though, expect overnight lows to get down to 33 degrees. We're going to see cloudy skies, and those cloudy skies are left from that storm system, so that's what could be bringing us all those flurries. Tomorrow, those sunny skies, we are going to warm up to 47, not quite as warm as what we were today, so definitely if you thought today was cold, bring an extra sweatshirt or jacket, because tomorrow is going to be even cooler. And those winds that we saw today, lasting till tomorrow, you can see winds coming out of the north to northwest at 15 miles per hour. Looking at tomorrow night, though, we're going to see clear skies with an overnight low of 35. Winds are supposed to die down tomorrow night, as you can see, coming out of the north and northwest at only 8 miles per hour. Looking at the 5-day outlook, you can see Saturday, beautiful sunny day. We are going to be pretty cool, though, at 53 as our high and 35 as our low. Sunday, though, we're going to see sunny skies once again with 55 as our high this time and 35 as the low. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, back to those sunny skies, and we're also going to start seeing a warm-up in those temperatures. Look. Monday, we're seeing temps going all the way up to 66 degrees for the high. Tuesday, up to 67, and Wednesday also up to 67 degrees.
Well, you talked about how we might possibly see snow flurries tonight. Is there any chance we might see them this weekend?
You know what? We aren't set to see them this weekend, because that storm system right now that is sitting over Illinois and parts of Indiana, Ohio, is going to be completely off onto the East Coast and the Pennsylvania, New York area by Saturday. So we are going to be seeing a beautiful, dry weekend. But tonight is what we have to watch out for, because we're seeing those pop-up showers starting to hit the Carbondale and southern Illinois area. And those pop-up showers, when it gets so cold, those showers are going to turn into snow flurries. So just be on the lookout for those tonight.
Definitely not looking forward to it. Thanks, Stephanie. The Saluki men's basketball team looks to continue to work on getting all the kinks out before their first regular season game in Champaign.
And 3 members of the football team were honored for their hard work in the classroom. Rob Jesselson is here with more in sports. Rob?
That's right. The SIU women's basketball team will play their first exhibition game of the season at home this weekend. And the Chicago Blackhawks have been playing a little shaky even when they played the New Jersey Devils last night. All this and much more is coming up next in sports.
And now the latest scores and highlights from across the River Region. This is Evening Edition Sports.
The Saluki football team may be having a tough season, but that's not stopping 3 members of the team from bringing home some hardware. Senior Joe Ilaria and along with juniors Chance Cota and David Pickard were named to the academic all-district first team. The awards are given out to athletes who both excel in their sports and in the classroom. With these three, SIU football has now had 18 academic honorees along with being named to the team. The three are now eligible to be named to the academic All-American team. The Saluki men's basketball team will take to the court this weekend for their second and final preseason game of the season. The Dogs welcome the University of Indianapolis to the renovated SIU Arena. The Salukis are coming off a victory last weekend over Quincy, winning 80-57. Newcomer Troy Long led the team in scoring last game, putting up 12 points on 4 3-pointers. A total of 4 Salukis reached double digits in scoring, but it was the offense that started off the game slowly, only scoring 37 points in the first half. Indianapolis Greyhounds come into this game after losing their first preseason game to Purdue by a score of 82-59. The Battle of the Dogs is set for Saturday with tip-off at 2 p.m. Unlike the men, the women's basketball team will be playing their very first exhibition game of the season at home this weekend. The Lady Salukis come into this year with only 2 returning starters back, but they have a ton of newcomers on the team. Cece Shannon, Brooke Lamar, and Taylor Ignato lead a highly touted recruiting class into Carbondale and have huge expectations for this season. Terry Oliver will lead the Salukis after coming off a stellar freshman season where she was an MVC All-Freshman Team honoree. The ladies welcome the University of Illinois in Springfield, who will also play their first preseason game of the year. Tip-off is scheduled for Saturday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. In the IHSA playoffs, undefeated #1 seed Johnston City hosted 8th seed El Dorado last Saturday, and the JC Indians came out like a team possessed and ambushed the Eagles right out of the gate. On the legs of their overpowering run game, the Indians bullied their way to a 21-0 lead after 1 quarter of play. And try as the Eagles might, they were just unable to stop the deceptive Johnston City ground attack. The Indians pulled away 40-8 at halftime before running a more conservative offense in the second half with a running clock. El Dorado finished the season with a 5-5 record. The final score was Indians 55 and Eagles 8. The 10-0 Indians travel northwest this weekend to play 9-0 Staunton on Saturday at 2 o'clock. The Chicago Blackhawks have lost their last 4 out of 6 games coming into last night's game, and it wasn't much of a difference as they played the New Jersey Devils at home. We pick up things in the third period with the Devils leading 2-1 with goalie Johan Hedberg making several saves with Thomas Kopetsky putting the pressure on. A minute later, the Hawks will respond when Victor Stahlberg's shot was blocked by Hedberg, but Fernando Paisani is there for the putback goal. Late in the third, the Devils would break the tie when Bradley Mill shoots the puck off Marty Turco into the net. Take another look at this. The puck actually hits Turco on the skate and bounces into the net. 2 minutes later, the Devils would add a goal by Jamie Langenbrunner on the empty net, putting the Devils up by 2. The Hawks would make it interesting scoring with 31 seconds left and cutting the lead down to 1. But the Devils would add an empty netter, winning the game 5-3.
So, Rob, what do you expect from the women's basketball team this year?
Well, they had a really tough season last year, but Missy Tiber has a great recruiting class coming in for this year. They're very young, but they should be exciting.
All right. Thanks, Rob.
Yep.
We've all had our share of bad dreams.
But some of us use dream catchers to keep them away. After the break, find out where dream catchers originated. Coming up Monday night on the Evening Edition, we profile newly elected Lieutenant Governor and SIU Professor Sheila Simon. And several SIU unions will meet jointly next week to discuss the proposed closure days. Plus, we'll show you what area groups are planning to do to honor our military this Veterans Day. That's Monday night at 5 right here on the WSIU television stations.
November is Native American Heritage Month. Today, to honor the history and lend insight in one of the most recognizable pieces of Native American artwork, special guest Sheree Barrera explains how dream catchers work.
The Lakota believe that the good dreams are caught and go down to the person, and the bad dreams just keep going. or the Ojibwe believe that the bad dreams are caught, and when the sun comes up, the sun vaporizes them.
Barrera says dream catchers are usually made out of natural materials like feathers, wood, and string. Well, Stephanie, can we take another look at weather?
We sure can. If you just want to pull up that 5-day forecast, you can see Saturday we're going to have a beautiful sunny day. We're going to be pretty cool though, sitting at a high of only 53 degrees and a low of 35. Sunday though, we're going to see those sunny skies once again, but we're going to warm up just slightly to 55 as a high and then 35 again as our low. Monday though, that's when things start warming up. As you can see, almost a 10-degree increase from Sunday's temperatures into Monday. 66 degrees for our high on Monday, 44 for our low. Sunny, clear skies though. Tuesday, we're going to see 67 for a high and 48 degrees for our low, but those sunny skies sticking with us, and you can see those sunny skies again on Wednesday for us, 67 as our high and 46 on our low. So if we can just get through this cool spell that we're under right now that's going to last into the weekend, the beginning of our work week next week's just going to be beautiful. As I said, sunny skies and temperatures finally getting back up to those upper 60s.
I can't wait. Thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sam Smith.
And I'm Jenna Morton. For Stephanie Fryer, Rob Jesselson, and everyone here at the Evening Edition, have a great night.